Sparks Police.
Until I started working for the city of Sparks, I didn't realize what it took to run a city.
Okay, I'll have an officer check the area, okay?
40 South Main Street.
231, copy and route.
Over the years, we've used HP to run the city. We want to make sure our streets are safe and make sure the citizens have what they need.
If you don't have a good, strong technological base, you're not going to be able to progress.
HP Converged Technology is the backbone here at the city. We have approximately 45 HP servers. We have everything running on them from our financial systems to dispatch and records. We have a traffic computer that sits in our server room. Parks and Recreation is on our servers. Mowing the lawns at all the parks, keeping the streets painted with their lines, street sweeping, sewer, fire. And then we have all our virtual desktops. They're all on HP servers and storage in the server rooms here at the city. We've got to always be on. The police department expects the dispatchers to always be able to connect to a computer.
Sparks 911. Okay, where's it burning?
When a fire truck gets dispatched, they need to know where the fire is. The public safety people, they need to be able to get to the data.
We have a GIS department and we work with them, and those mobile data computers have the mapping systems within them. First and foremost, hydrant locations. Where are fire hydrants?
We have a fire, we have one hydrant right there, we have one right there.
If someone calls 911, they expect the response to be immediate.
The technology can say, this is the address and these are your cross streets.
I can pull up an address, verify it, find an inside telephone number, the person who's responsible, who has a gun behind the front door, and it's all at our fingertips now.
When I'm looking at servers, I'm looking for long-term reliability. The reason we've stuck with HP is the quality, the support of making sure that when a customer buys something, it's going to work. Using HP Converged Technology has allowed our citizens to pay their sewer bills online, to sign up for recreation programs from home. We couldn't do the job without them because we're a small city. We're a very family-oriented city.
To me, technology is right up there with public safety and those kind of things as far as running a city.
And that's what I think the city's got for the last 30 years that we've been running HP equipment. You can't beat what HP has given us.
When I get a minute of solace, I think about ways to do things differently.
Everything is digital now. Mobility is the future.
When Omnicom first came to me, my first reaction was actually one of fear. I knew it was the right direction. I knew ultimately it was best for our organization and for our clients, but it was a dramatic shift.
Diversified Agency Services is a collection of over 100 different marketing services companies, part of the Omnicom Group. We're delivering information, data, content to them anywhere in the world. We service about 95 of the top Fortune 100 organizations. We needed centralized security, centralized storage. We needed to keep client data separate and confidential from other client data. We needed a private cloud environment for DOS. I knew I needed a market leader to help me succeed in this project. I was looking predominantly for a well-rounded technology provider that ran the gamut of service offerings, and that's HP.
Are we still working on 224? Our decision to use HP is pretty simple. HP provide really the whole fabric that you need within a data center. Shared red, what's the status on that one? And we can deploy HP technology across the board, and we know that if we have any issues, then we've got one partner to work with to resolve those issues.
Now, you've moved all of the risk to the center.
When this project first started, it was a culture shock for a lot of agencies because now, instead of having individual server rooms or data centers at the agencies, everything is being brought into the center.
There is a belief that what is known locally will be very hard to be known at the center.
People were definitely afraid. People were, as Jason would say, we're coming to take your children away.
I just want to make sure that we're being transparent.
We made sure from the very beginning we were communicating every aspect of the project.
I'm constantly out talking to my agencies. What's working? What's not working? What can we be doing better?
All the communications regarding CES have been excellent.
What we're hearing from agencies is that this project is helping to drive efficiencies. Our time to market has actually decreased. Once we had outlined our plans to HP, they instantly jumped in, put their best resources in play, and sat with us. They were as embedded in this process as we were. We focused our efforts on our data centers in the United States in Phoenix, Arizona, and Atlanta, Georgia.
These are actually important. I didn't think they were originally.
In Dallas, we have our Network Operations Center, as well as our Engineering Center. If agencies have calls, they call our 800 number, and those people pick up the phone and open the ticket.
We'll begin that workup process.
HP has a really good handle on what is needed for enterprise class security.
You bind certificates to your wireless access points.
The data centers are 100% secure. We have 24/7 uptime. So it's basically taking the onus away from the agency and now putting it on us.
This project is giving agencies opportunities they've never had before. Opportunities for access to some of the best technology that they may not have had access to by themselves independently.
It's definitely helped the DOS agencies win more business because they can bring more clients into our secure facility.
My perspective on HP is a strategic partner, one that understands the technology and takes the time to understand my business. It was almost like our success and their success were really symbiotic.
We're in a world now where everyone is chasing the same business. You have to have the right people in the right place at the right time to grab the business and win it.
We're talking about delivering content via your television, your mobile device, your tablet. That's what the world is demanding. I think the great thing about HP is that they are a global technology powerhouse. The tools and the support we get allows us to be able to provide any customer, any client, any content, anywhere, anytime, on any type of device.
It's very challenging, I have to say, but it's great. A lot of agencies haven't done this before. It's a new way of doing business.
This project has been the greatest challenge I could have been given in my career. One of the greatest joys I get out of this project is how the agencies are working together to share ideas, to get involved in areas with each other that they had never done before.
Here at the University of Münster, we're currently working on a project which is called the Scientific Cloud. And this is basically to replace all the IT infrastructure we have at the Natural Sciences Department. In science, if you stay at a certain place, you're gone, you're history. So you have always moved forward. So what you want to have is the latest technology available because it enables you either to go faster or to go in more detail. If you look what scientists do, they use tremendous computing power to model their systems or to capture the experiment. Another big part is where do you store all the data you get out of these experiments. It really got painful about a year ago when we really recognized the systems we have now, we stretch to the limit in every respect. Everything is changing so much. What we basically need is a very versatile system, a system that can grow without limits. We made a matrix and we had several companies to bid on that matrix. And in the end it turned out that only HP was the one who could deliver it in an economic fashion, and also the technology they provided did the best to fit our needs.
And what you see on the left side, actually, that's the thing that will do the high performance computing.
We're serving over 10,000 people in our department. Our scientists sometimes work around the night, on weekends. So once the system is down, they have nothing to work on. That's not acceptable. So what we're bringing is the latest and greatest technology available from both HP and Intel.
So the hot, cool material is going downwards. We are looking at how light interacts with DNA, for instance. Potentially, the knowledge that we gain from these studies could be used to develop cures for radiation-induced damage to DNA. These new machines will give me a speed up in my simulation by almost 2 orders of magnitude. So that's an enormous advance.
We can compensate for by using.
With the scientific cloud, we will just send these simulation jobs to the cloud, and we hope that then we get the information faster.
I'm trying to find out how the battery can be improved. The work with molecular simulations will certainly help to improve, in my case, for example, lithium-ion batteries in cell phones or in electrically driven cars. Using the scientific cloud would allow me to perform more calculations at the same time for different parameters. What we see here is a computer simulation of a polymer electrolyte. The green spheres are the lithium ions.
When we presented the initial concept, the response was overwhelming because that was essentially what the people were looking for.
It's going to be providing the computation power, storage and so on for everyone. You just place your scientific data into a central place where people can actually draw the information.
Over the last few years, people are bringing their smartphones, their tablet PCs or whatever, and they just want to take their own device and bring it and just continue to work on it. So as part of the scientific cloud we're bringing to life right now, we're incorporating a component where you can really log on with any device you're bringing. The big strength I see in HP is they have so many great products and technologies and solutions in their hand. They can really help their customers solve problems, custom-tailored to what you need in your enterprise.
It's such a brilliant feeling when you actually discover something new. This is something that nobody has done before. You've done it. That is exciting.
We are now in a position through these modern computers to actually solve equations that have been around for 100 years. And the better the computer, the more interesting problems we can tackle.
My husband passed away 20 years ago. That's your whole life, and it was just gone. But I knew I needed help. I mean, my health was failing.
When Dolores moved into the Heritage, she was rather reserved. I mean, I think she saw the opportunities that might possibly exist here.
Our nation has an issue which we have completely isolated a generation. You find so many seniors who are not in the conversation. And when people move into a senior living community, it can be really hard. So as we sat down to look at it, we thought there just has to be something we can do to solve this.
Now everybody knows how to sign in, right?
Connected Living's partnership with Hewlett-Packard was brought to us to do a concept of the community of the future here in Chicago. And HP provided our communities with a number of tablets, and the programs that we were able to put in place were really fantastic.
So we set up a classroom, and the ambassadors from Connected Living could work with them individually, as most of them had never ever used a computer at all.
First thing I think I really had to do was learn where the keys were. It was just like a typewriter.
When you get emails, are you trying
At my first class, I felt very confused, and I didn't think I could learn anything. But I'm not a quitter, and I don't give up that easily, so I was going to really work hard at it, which I did.
Dolores' transformation was fairly gradual, and through this project we saw her blossom and develop in ways I've never seen out of an individual or a human being before.
Within the first 3 months, my health improved so much the doctors were amazed. So I knew I had made the right choice.
She wanted to learn more each and every week, and she just has changed her appearance. She started wearing more makeup. She started changing the colors in her clothes.
My favorite things that I like to do on the computer is ordering clothes and doing online banking.
I use the tablet to keep in touch with my family with the email, and had 17 the other day, so they're keeping in touch with me too.
What's kind of fun is that she embraced it right away. It's this conduit to her family, and the family dynamic is as alive now as it can be because of this.
If you actually think that someone cares that you get up in the morning, they're going to make a difference.
It's just a new way of getting out into the world. You don't have to be by yourself. You have that tablet and it's company.
There's a little icon down here.
What we did recently here at the Heritage, we gave 35 seniors the ability to take tablets into their rooms, and it just revolutionized everything. It became a companion device. It really just upped the level of activity and conversation.
Press control.
Dolores is now a Connected Living ambassador. She truly looks forward to each and every week helping fellow residents and teaching them computer skills that she herself has just learned in the last year.
I didn't plan to teach. It's just fascinating. It's a whole new world. We don't learn as easily as when we're young. And we have to realize that it's going to take a little extra work, and it pays off.
The residents also have an opportunity to build a memoir.
This is my life story.
Both Dolores and Mary were very engaged in that project.
My children, after reading that, they said, "Mom, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you were prom queen. I didn't know you were this or that." So they caught up with me.
When the family starts seeing how Mom fell in love, what happened in the war, the conversation starts. At the end of the 90-day pilot, there was a celebration. All of the residents who had been part of the project came and told us the stories about what it had meant to them. And at the end, when HP had decided to actually give them all the tablets that they had had for the pilot, I mean, the room was just in tears.
I was overwhelmed. It meant a lot.
You know which residents were part of that project. You can tell because their confidence level, they're engaging in many other things.
Aging can be completely different in this country, and people don't have to be isolated. Families don't have to be split apart. This gives them the opportunity to have the purpose and the life and the engagement that they deserve.
I've regained much of my self-esteem, and I would like other people to know that they can do the same. That's the important thing.
I think it has opened up a completely new world.
It really started a whole new life for me, which is what I needed.